All right, guys, we're going to go through this example pretty quick. It's really just about using words to describe and get your units right. So think about the following scenarios and what units should they be reported. Water filling up a swimming pool. Well, first off, how are you going to measure water? Ounces? Yeah, that might work if you're trying to fill up a cup. But if you're trying to fill up a whole swimming pool, you probably are going to want to work with gallons. Okay? Now, does that measure all parts of this? Well, we're filling up the swimming pool, so there's got to be another unit involved. We're not trying to just figure out how to fill up the pool or how much will go in the pool. We're measuring the actual act of filling the pool. So the other unit that's going to be here is, well, if I'm filling the pool, how long is it going to take me to fill that pool? So there's an element of time. Okay, so maybe we want to measure it in gallons per second. Or maybe we can measure it in gallons per minute, or maybe even gallons per hour. Now, if you think about a swimming pool and a hose running into it, probably it may not take a full hour to get it done, but it's probably going to at least take several or a large number of minutes. So just depending on how big the pool is may change your element of time here. But in general, a good example for a swimming pool might be gallons per minute. Okay, your notes go into a lot more detail on that, but I'm not going into quite so much detail on this one. All right, so the cost of tiling a kitchen floor. Well, footage in a house, pretty much given that it's going to be measured in square feet, right? So we're trying to figure out the cost. So money, dollars, right? So dollars per, you could do dollars per tile, but it's honestly probably a better one to say dollars per square foot, because you're going to do it based on the square footage of the house. And you can abbreviate square foot to square foot. Okay? All right. The effect of gravity on a falling object. So if you did a whole lot in science, you probably dealt with some gravity type stuff, but you can measure in either feet or meters, depending on whether you're going customary or metric. And then generally things are falling pretty quick, so you don't have stuff that's falling for minutes or days at a time or hours at a time. So usually it's feet or minutes per second. Okay, and it just depends on how far something's falling. All right. So then the next thing is to look at, we've got a snail traveling across the sidewalk here. So now you might be tempted to measure that in, feet per second or something like that. But really, think about how slowly a snail moves. You might be looking more like, I don't know, inches or feet per minute to get a realistic example, a realistic number, to be dealing with a nice number that you want to work with for a snail. However, if you were to compare that to other things, like say you were measuring that speed compared to, say, a dog or a cat or anything, really, any other kind of animal, those are typically measured in what? Miles per hour, right? MPH. If that's the case, if you're comparing it to something else, then you're going to want to use the same units for the snail on the sidewalk as you do for the other animal. Okay, so you're going to want to convert inches or feet per minute into miles per hour, which is going to be where you want to use those limousine sort of problems like we've used on the last example. All right, so let's see if we can't look at this last example here. Ernesto built a wooden car for a soapbox derby. He is painting the top of the car blue and the sides black. He's already got enough black paint, so he only needs to focus on the top, okay, on the blue paint. All right, so he wants to approximate the area, and he knows the length is 9 feet 11 1/4 inches, and the width is 1/2 of an inch less than 3 feet. So what we're going to do is to make this simple, we're going to convert it to inches and do the math, and then we'll convert that answer back to feet so that we can get our square footage. Okay, because usually paint is measured by how many square feet it will cover. All right, so we need to first figure out what 9 feet is. So how many inches is 9 feet? So there are 12 inches in a foot, right? So 9 feet going into 12 inches is 108. Okay? And then we're going to add to that 11 1/4 or 11.25. Okay, so when we do that, we get 119.25. All right, now we need to figure out about the width. So it's 1/2 inch less than 3 feet. So again, 3 feet to inches, that would be 36 inches. And it's 1/2 inch less than that. So that's 36 minus 0.5, which is 35.5. Okay, so that's the length, and this is the width. Well, to find area is length times width. Okay, we're assuming it's rectangular here. All right, so when we multiply those together, we would get, so we did 119.25 times 35.5, and we get 4,233.375. Now, that would be perfectly fine if we wanted our answer in, by the way, this was inches and inches. So this is inches squared. But we don't. We want our answer in feet squared. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go from 4,233.375 inches times inches. Now I'm doing that on purpose. Inches squared just means inches times inches. It doesn't mean that number multiplied twice. But what we want to do is we want to get rid of the inches and go back to feet. So there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So inches cancels with inches. But I still got inches on top. I got inch feet now. That's weird. So that means I need to do the same conversion one more time. That's what squaring it causes to happen. Okay? So now what I've got is that number times 1 times 1. So 4,233.375 divided by whatever we have on the bottom, which is 12 times 12 is 144. So when I do that number divided by 144, I get, I'm going to bring it over, welcome down. I get 29, and I'm going to round to 2 decimal places here just to make it nice. And actually that's a 9, so it's going to kick up. So 29.4 feet squared. Okay? So that's how you would measure it. It's 29.4 feet squared. And that is the answer to the problem. So move on with your next example, or sorry, this is the last example, so move on with the assignment from here. Good job, guys.